My name is Rudy Narvaez. I'm from Smithville, New Jersey, and I'm a husband and father of two. I've been coming to Praise for 3 years now. So I grew up in South Jersey, Egg Harbor Township in Galloway, New Jersey. I come from what I consider a bigger family. I have 2 brothers and 2 sisters, and my parents as well. They're all still in the picture. We grew up in a very religious home, and we were Catholic. We would go to Catholic church every week, and my mother was very religious, so she made sure we read the Bible all the time. Growing up and going to Catholic church, you as you're young, you do these things because you kind of have to do it. Your parents don't really give you any options. The problem I had with that was that it felt more like a task, a chore, than anything else, and it lacked a connection. So as I got older, I still had my Bible and I still would pray with my mother and stuff, but I started getting away from the church. And it didn't lead me down any bad road or anything, but it led me down a couple years of where there was a lot of emptiness and doubt in my life. So as I got older and I had my own kids, I started trying to slowly get back into church. I started going by myself at first, and then I tried to incorporate my family into it. As I got away from the Catholic Church, I had some trials and tribulations as far as, hanging out with the wrong people, understanding you can't trust everyone, letting my anger get the best of me at times, and things that teenagers go through. Nothing real serious or anything like that, but the one thing that always weighed on me during this time was that it almost felt like I was just going through emotion day by day. It didn't really feel like I was getting a full day, a full cup in my day. And as I started getting into my later teenager years, I started learning about different religions, every religion. I started, doing my research and understanding, everything from Buddhism to Muslim, and that really ignited my interest in religion again, because I felt when I was doing that research that there was something bigger out there for me. There was a connection out there that I was missing out on. So as I got older and got married and had my kids, one thing I wanted to take from my relationship with my parents was introducing them to church as well. Whatever church I chose, I wanted them to have that connection that I felt I was lacking. So I wanted to introduce them, so that's when I started going to local churches and figuring out which church was a church that I could go to and feel comfortable in, and my family as well. And that took some different, it took a couple trips. I had to go to a couple different churches, because although I might have felt comfortable at one or another, or not comfortable at one or another, the goal was for my whole family to get involved in it. So if it was something that kind of fit me but didn't fit my wife, it's all things I had to take into consideration. But I always knew, I had a relation, I knew about God and I knew the Bible and stuff, but I just didn't understand the connection that needed to be there. And I think that's in my later teenage years and earlier 20s, that's kind of what I was searching for. It took some work. It took some work to find, and it took some time. And, as I matured also, and learned different things, that's really what helped me get out there and find a place. I turned 18, I finished school. I got out of school, and it goes back to that point I was telling you. I was at a point in my life where I felt like I was just going through the motions. I was empty. I knew I was missing something. And I thought that joining the military would put me on a different path, and hopefully give me some kind of feeling of I'm doing something, So I joined, and I was young. I was fresh out of high school, and I joined, and I remember one of the first questions they asked you after you graduate and you're getting your tags, your military tags, is what religion are you? And I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to say because I knew I grew up Catholic, but I also knew I was away kind of from the church. So that was one of the things that kind of pushed me towards my research of religion too, because I didn't like not knowing an answer to that. I ended up putting Catholic on my tags, and I came home after I graduated. I came home, and I wasn't home for long. I got sent to Alaska. Was my first base, and after I was in Alaska, I might have been in Alaska for a couple months, and I got my first orders to go overseas. So I had to go to Afghanistan, and I remember at the time my wife was pregnant with my daughter, and I went overseas, and that as a young man getting sent into a war. It was definitely eye-opening and life-changing. And I didn't know exactly what my religion was at the time. I might have not known the answer for my dog tags, but I knew there was a God. So even out there, I was praying and I just wanted to make it home to my family. I knew that that I had a purpose to make it home, and I had a reason to make it home. So that definitely pushed me after I got home after Afghanistan. That's when I started going to my sister's church, and I would go by myself, and every so often I would bring the kids and see how they felt about it and stuff. And I loved the church. It was a great atmosphere and stuff, but it just didn't work for the whole family. Then my son was born, and then I was like, all right, I really need to plant the seed now, because my daughter was getting older, my son is born now. So that's when we met Matt and Elise, and they told us about Praise. And I had seen Praise. I drove by here a couple times. I had seen it. I just never came in here. And I was going through my own thing at the time. And we ended up coming just to check it out as a family one time, and ended up falling in love with it. So we've been here ever since. As I started going to church with my family, and my kids started getting into church and stuff, and my wife as well, I went through a couple of my own trials at the time. And these trials are what actually gave me that last push I needed. A couple years ago, I'm driving home from work, and I got in a fatal car accident where the passenger of the other vehicle was killed. And that was the first domino, for instance, to fall. A lot goes through your head when you go through a situation like that, and you don't know what's gonna come at the end of it. So the first thing was, getting home to my family, letting them know I was okay, and taking it day by day. What happened after that was a year passed, and that's when they charged me and with the accident. And so the charges were vehicular manslaughter, and that was not only shocking to me, it was a point in my life that shifted me. I didn't know what to expect. I wasn't prepared for any of it. And honestly, because it was almost a year later, I thought it was over with. So it blindsided me a little bit. Because of this situation, I had to go through a 3.5-year legal process. And that was, I see now at least, I didn't know at the time, but that mentally broke me to a point that I've never been broken to in my life, even in the military, even as a teenager. And I'm an adult at the time, and I have a family, and you think these things are past, and then it broke me, and it got me to a point where I didn't think that, I didn't know how I would come to the other side of the tunnel, basically. And in this 3.5 year legal battle, just to make things even harder, I lost my mother-in-law. So now I'm dealing with that as well. I'm dealing with the legal battle, and it's very stressful and bringing me to my breaking point. After all this, after the 3.5 years, I ended up taking a plea deal for what they call a 3-year sentence. A 3 flat is what they call it. And I remember going to the courtroom that day to find this out, and on my way down there, I think that was the moment where I finally broke. It was too much for me to handle and understand at the time. And when they took me away, and my family's there, and everyone's upset and crying, and I remember getting over there, and that was the point where as soon as they closed the door behind me, I knew right then and there, I'm no longer driving this ship. I gotta let God do it and see where this takes me from here. And that was the push I needed, because yes, I was always religious. Yes, I had religion in my life. Yes, I was actively looking for a place to call home in the church. But I think the reason why I have the connection I have with God now is because I broke in that moment, and He showed me light when I thought I would see nothing but darkness. The first couple of days I was in there, it was a lot of doubt and questions, and like, what did I do wrong? Because it wasn't like there was any drugs or alcohol involved or anything. I was on my way home from work, so I really didn't think like there was anything bad about what I did. I also didn't understand. I didn't understand the death of my mother-in-law or what I was going through. So I kind of had not anger, but a lot of questions to God. And now I see that, and now I understand that He wasn't punishing me, and that maybe this was the push I needed to finally allow this connection to happen. But at the time, there was a lot of questions, a lot of that. And not necessarily finger pointing or anything, but I just felt slighted at the time. A lot of people don't know this, but there's different people in there. Yeah, a lot of different people. And I've always had a good understanding of people I meet. Like, I could meet someone that I've never met before and understand if this is someone that I'm gonna get along with, that is good to talk to, or someone that's gonna steer me wrong. And what I realized in there quickly was that there's a lot of decent humans in there as well. So a lot of the guys, especially some of the older guys, would talk to me and try to mentor me and try to help me understand certain things. There was a couple guys in there that actually brought me my own Bible and invited me to church there as well, and just wanted to let me know that I'm not alone, even if I am alone. So that happened really quickly. I was kind of surprised about that. I mean, I was only in there a couple weeks when I was getting all these invitations to churches and Bibles and stuff, Bible study. So it was definitely refreshing. But a lot of my connection with God in there that grew and grew and grew over time was just me being alone and reading my Bible. And the reason I say that is because I've heard people say that my whole life. My mother said that when I was young. But the reason I say that is because now I'm older, and as I read this Bible, I read it when I was young, but as I read it now, it takes a whole different meaning for me. It opens up doors that I didn't see before. I see similar things and it going on in the Bible that I went through, or that I know someone that went through. So I see all this stuff and I start connecting dots, and that's when I start opening up my mind and my heart to God. And that connection just grows and grows. And the anger and the questioning and the doubting slowly started leaving. And once I realized that, I knew that I was on a path that I needed to be on, and I knew that I was building something that I might not understand at the time, but that was only gonna make my life better. So I kept reading, I kept understanding, I kept talking, and then I got moved. I got moved from Cape May to State. When I got moved to State, it was a lot of younger kids there. Or not kids, they're adults, but younger. So there was a lot of young, so it's a whole different dynamic. But by some chance, I got put in with someone locally from around here who was a lot younger. He was in his early 20s and was messing up left and right. And I tried to stay to myself at first. So I'm reading my Bible and I'm just staying to myself. You know, I say hi and bye and stuff like that or whatever, but I'm really staying to myself because I'm working on this connection and I want to keep doing it. And I'll never forget, one day he randomly asked me, why do you keep reading this Bible and stuff? And I was like, man, I told him straight up, I said, this is my peace in here. When there could be anything going on around me, it could be hectic, it could be chaotic, but this balances me out. And he kind of laughed it off at first. He you know, he's young. He laughed it off at first. And I remember maybe a week or two after that, he's pacing back and forth, and I could tell he's upset. And I knew he had just come off the phone, so I didn't know something was going on. So I asked him, and he kind of blurted out things that I said to myself in my head. He started blurting out questions like, I don't understand why I always have this bad luck. I don't understand why all this bad stuff always happens to me. You believe in God. Why does God do this to me? And when he said that, you know, I could have easily been like, I have the same questions before, so I understand. But I started basically talking to him about the Bible and trying to give him some peace that I was feeling at the time. And I told him, I was very honest with him, and I told him, I said, I had doubt and questions like this in my head for many years. And it wasn't until I started reading this and understanding this that it really brought me a peace. And I made sure he understood, because to this day we still talk. He's out and he's becoming a great member of society and stuff. But he's still young, so he does have questions here and there. He calls me and I walk him through things, and sometimes we pray together and I read him Bible stuff. But I wanted him to understand in that moment that we can only control what we can control. Whatever happens outside of our control, we can't control. No matter how much we want to, no matter how much we want to change. I started reading him a couple passages and stuff, and that was the end of it. It was the end of the day. We moved on. But what happened from that is a couple days passed, and he's like, hey, read me another passage. A couple days passed. Oh, read me. Hey, oh, it's Sunday. You going to church? Can I come? Yeah. So it ended up maybe bringing peace to someone else and helping them plant a seed that I hope he takes and grows from here on out and waters. And from what I see, because we don't see each other every day, but we do talk here and there. And from what I see, that's exactly what he's doing. That's another reason why I share my testimony, and I was a little weary of it at first and stuff, but I hope that this helps someone else, because I know in my moment of darkness and in my moment of doubt and stuff, I didn't see a light. I didn't see God walking right next to me at the time with his hand on my shoulder. I understand that now, but at the time I felt alone. I felt very alone, and I felt like the world was crashing down on me. So I say this because I want people to understand these feelings that you might be going through or might have in the future, or whatever the case is. If you understand now that God is with you and God is not punishing you or anything like that, what I figured out about my ordeal is that I could sit here and say, oh, God's punishing me. Like, I shouldn't be here. I shouldn't do this. I should be home with my family. But look what I got out of it. I got a connection and a relationship with God that I was always looking for, but never imagined it was like this. Quite honestly, I never thought that, like, although I knew I was looking for something, I never thought this relationship was like like the peace that I've gotten and the comfort that I've gotten, because I go through my day and I know whether it's a bad day or a good day or something bad happens or something good happens. I know that He's with me throughout my day, and that brings a peace that's unmatched, and I never imagined that until I received it. So I thank God every day for that. I thank God for the blessing of my family, my kids, the health, but mainly for the connection that me and Him now have. And although I thought I had something like that by understanding religion, and growing up in a religious home, I know now more than ever. And this is what I tell the young people I talk to, or even my kids at home, that connection is nothing like you think it is. It's way better than that. I think definitely what I thought was the worst point in my life, God turned it around into good. And the one thing I will say is, another beauty in it was that my wife was going through her mother passing away, and she was more vocal about her questions and why is this happening and things like that. And she wasn't it's not that she wasn't religious, but she wasn't the most religious person. And at the same time that I'm going through my own growth and stuff, it was beautiful to see her blossom and her go through her own growth and become more religious and understand God's with her in her darkness. It's almost like we did it at similar times. Once that happened, it brought the whole family together, and that's the most beautiful part of it to me. Yes, we were both going through our own trials and darkness, and God basically took that in His hands and said, look what I could do with this. Yes, I would say my relationship with the Lord is fully restored, and I slowly started getting into sharing my testimony and sharing my process and stuff with the Lord with people now. I didn't do that right away because I was still understanding my new connection and still working through my new connection and making myself whole with God. But I got to a point where, like, I knew that some people need to hear this, because it might push them to finally make that connection. It might help them get through a darkness that they're going through. So that's the main reason why I share my testimony now. It's not always the easiest thing, but it's something that I know has to be heard. I'm Rudy Narvaez, and I have been restored and inspired to serve everywhere, and this is my story.